What is up, everybody? Welcome back. It's Dynamik, and welcome back to Dynamic Vision, a series where I take a look at every series in the MLW and do a series breakdown. Today we're talking about the Great Lakes Gators versus the Eastern Eagles in SLATE 1. I think most MLW fans anticipated a pretty competitive series because obviously the Eagles won the championship last year, but the Gators have great potential with new acquired players such as Dustin Staggs and the progression of players such as Jeremy Adams. However, in Game 1, the Eagles kind of took over here. Dallas Allen was amazing from the mound as he got out of 2 bases loaded, and don't get me wrong, the Gators did a good job of getting to this position, but they just couldn't finish. Also, Landon Urgitis hit a home run. He is completely back to where he left off when it came to last year. In my opinion, Landon Urgitis is just one of the most underrated players in the game. I just don't think he gets a ton talked about him because he's so quiet and kind of just lets his game do the talking, but man, is he really a powerhouse. There was also his brother Carson Urgitis, who kind of got his first real opportunity, and I liked what I saw from him. It wasn't necessarily bad, it wasn't necessarily amazing, but I am optimistic that he can kind of bring it all together and become a decent MLW player. Also, I thought Dustin Staggs' performance in Game 1 was pretty good. Overall, it was kind of business as usual in this Game 1, even though Sawyer Bean didn't really have his best performance from the mound, he wasn't bad either. Then Game 2 starts, which was kind of a mess for both teams. The main thing about this game was how bad the pitching was from both teams. I mean, first off, let's start with Jeremy Adams. I've never really been a huge fan of him on the mound. I always thought he was a really good hitter, but just not really the best pitcher, and I think he kind of proved that in this game. Just not a ton of control, a lot of hit balls were hit into play, and I think Jeremy Adams didn't really have an amazing variety of pitches that he was throwing out there. But on the other side, there was Evan Trackman, who had kind of the opposite problem. He was a little out of control. His command wasn't the best on the mound. And it was honestly a miracle that this game was close with the way he was pitching, because I'm sure most of the time Jeremy would have taken a lot more advantage of it. However, the fact that he is an 8th overall pick, I do have to kind of let that slide, because, I mean, a rookie coming into MLW, it's not the easiest to pitch, but he did not really look the best in my opinion. Moreover, the Eagles have some pretty good talent in the hitting rotation, as Dallas is still an amazing hitter, as well as Landon Urgitis, of course. And then on the defensive side, I thought Daniel Schultz was fielding the ball really well for Evan Trackman. That's the exact type of thing a veteran needs to do. This game also kind of shows that Staggs is a bit of a work in progress, as we can expect from any rookie. I thought his Game 3 performance was much better than his Game 2 performance, but once again, I'm really optimistic about him. I think he can be a great player. I don't think he saw the ball the best today, but I do think that he will get adjusted relatively quickly. Also, Sawyer Bean had an amazing walk-off hit, which really gave them the momentum they needed for Game 3. He had an amazing series. I want to make sure that doesn't go unnoticed. Then in Game 3, things start to kind of fall apart for the Eagles as Dallas starts to struggle on the mound. Jason Chadwick gets a really good hit, and Sawyer Bean and Dustin Staggs start absolutely seeing the ball amazingly and just showing Dallas up. I really like the new Gators culture overall, as Chris Cheatham pointed out kind of in his mic'd up, which is that they have a lot of guys that are pretty talkative and then a lot of veterans that are more chill, I guess. There's not really too much to say about Cheatham or Chadwick, but they kind of did both have a pretty good series. I really think that they don't have to do too much for their team to win, but as long as they are decent, they're going to help their team out. The last thing I want to say about this game, though, is a really big question mark, which is why did Daniel Schultz take himself out of the hitting rotation when they were only down 6 points, and why did he take Dallas Allen out on the mound when they were only down 6 points? They could have still won that game. Now, I'm not saying that they had an amazing chance. Obviously, the Gators had most of the momentum and things weren't looking good, but you're only down 6 points. Yes, is that a lot of points? But still, it's 6 points. Like, that is very possible in a game early in the season that could count in the future. I don't really understand this decision at all. I don't know why they decided to go to it. I thought Trackman got enough on the mound today already. I didn't really needed to see him in another game. Just keep Dallas out there. They could have potentially won the game. I mean, they went to a bases fully loaded, so I know BM was playing well, but that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think about this series in the comments below. Remember, it's like a public forum, so I will try and respond to every single comment. Love y'all, and peace.